Hi again, everyone. I'm Victor Rojas, and welcome to this latest installment of MLB Network Presents All-Time Games. Better late than never. Following arguably the darkest season the game of Major League Baseball has ever known in 1994, with the cancellation of almost half a season, including the playoffs and the World Series, due to a players' strike, the 1995 season was spared but shortened. After finally finding labor peace, the 1995 144-game season got underway in late April. One of the early season highlights came on May the 6th in the Queen City as the Cincinnati Reds played host to the New York Mets.
Well, it's an absolutely gorgeous day here at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. With that in mind, we will take a look at the Mets batting order. It'll be Brett Butler leading off, to be followed by Jose Vizcaino and Enrico Brogna. The middle three, Bobby Bonilla, Joe Orsulak, and Edgardo Alfonzo. The bottom three, Carl Everett, Todd Hundley, and Dave Malecki.
And on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds is Pete Smith. He has not given up an earned run yet this season. This is his first start. It's game number 4 for him. At 8 innings pitched, he's given up 6 hits. He has walked 2 and struck out 5.
And the deep ex-Yankee, Hal Morris, Red Boone, Barry Larkin, and over at third base for those Cincinnati Reds, Branson. In the outfield, left to right, Gant, Sanders, and Sanders. Deion Sanders and Reggie Sanders. Behind the plate, Benito Santiago. So Butler, you see his stats right there, 345, no home runs, 1 RBI. We'll take on an ex-Met, Pete Smith. Pete Smith's first start of the season. And the ball is bunted, foul.
And that was regardless of the fact that Jeff Branson was playing in pretty close.
On AstroTurf. At one time, the AstroTurf would intimidate a bunter. As you can see, Jeff Branson way in, trying to take the bunt away from Brett Butler. We'll see if slaps one by to left field. He can really handle that bat. Pitch from Pete Smith. It's a breaking ball, and it hits the outside part of the plate. 0-2 on Brett Butler. The Mets, by the way, coming into today's action 2.5 behind those Atlanta Braves. The Braves come into New York next week to take on the Mets. Butler pulls the ball to the right side. Brett Boone is there. Hal Morris, 1 down.
Have you ever seen a club or comments in the paper by different people? This is the 9th game of the season. Now it's the 10th. And it almost sounds like these people have lost the World Series in 4 straight games.
It really is amazing. I think that where years ago everybody had patience, for some reason there's no such thing in sports today as patience.
And there's Ray Knight standing up as though he's making the decisions, right?
He might be making a lot of them. Jose Vizcaino, who's batting .250, steps in, takes down low, ball 1. Vizcaino says he loves to hit in that second slot. The Mets had to put him in the top of the order last year. He was never comfortable there. You have to do too many things. He fouls the ball off to the left side, so it's 1-1 on Vizcaino.
And as we said in the opening, Fran, the amazing friendship, the closeness between Davey Johnson and Ray Knight is evident.
Always has been.
Yes.
Of course, Ray Knight, very important part of Davey's ball club when he was a member of the New York Mets. Vizcaino pulls it to the right side. We're going to test Brett Boone out. He's a good one. Brett Boone is a good second baseman. 2 down. Brett Boone, of course, is dad and manager of, speaking of managers, managing now in Kansas City, as you look at Ray Knight, the assistant manager to Davey Johnson. Enrico Brogna will be the batter. Brogna batting .320, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. 2 men gone here in the first inning. Brogna takes outside, 1-0. A quiet trade last year between the Mets and the Tigers, bringing Enrico Brogna to New York. He fouls that pitch out of play, 1-1. He was the #1 draft pick, and the man he was traded for was a Mets #1 draft pick, Alan Zinter. So far, the trade has really worked out for the New York Mets. Mets were able to pick up a man they could put in the third hole. He takes outside, 2-1.
That's where Pete Smith likes to work the most. down and away to left-handers. He doesn't come in a lot. When he does come in, he tries to come in hard. But he has given up a lot of home runs because sometimes he doesn't get in there.
2-1 pitch. Outside 3-1. Pete Smith has appeared in 3 games so far this year for the Reds, all in relief. And the 3-1 pitch to Bronya. Outside, ball 4, so the Mets have a base runner here in the first inning. Bronya down at first base. It'll bring to the plate Bobby Bo. Swinging a bat pretty well right now. Home run in last night's ball game for the Mets. In order for the Mets to contend, he has to have a big year. That's why they got him. See his stats right there, and he hits this ball into left center field. And Gant going over, unable to come up with it. And the Mets should pick up a run. Bronya rounding third, so Bobby Bonilla driving in a run. Bronya scoring, Bonilla on second base, and it's now 1-0 in favor of the Mets.
You see Gant, who has struggled physically, giving a little bit there after the play. Bonilla hits it right in the gap. Gant not moving as well as you see. So you see him go down. That ball, had it bounced over the fence, would have been a grounds rule double, and the run would not have scored. So the Mets very fortunate that that high hop stayed in the ballpark.
And Bonilla on second base. Pete Smith will now pitch to Joe Orsulak. Orsulak takes the breaking ball off the plate, ball 1. There's the line score, 1-0 Mets on top of the Reds. A walk and a double here in the first inning. Double coming off the bat of Bobby Bo. Bonilla picking up his 8th RBI on the season. And Orsulak takes a strike. So 1-2 on Joe Orsulak. Orsulak has driven in 3, as you can see right there. And a 1-1 pitch. Fouled off the end of the bat, so it's 1-2.
I think the Ron Gant of old would have had that, Francis. There's no doubt he's favoring that injured leg.
Hurt his toe in spring training. Once that got better, he hurt the injured leg a couple times on the AstroTurf here in Cincinnati.
Had to come out of 2 different ball games.
Down low, 2-2. Gant was picked up after missing all of last season. He was signed by the Reds in anticipation of the moving of Kevin Mitchell, who is now in Japan. Gant is as big as Kevin Mitchell. Look at the guns on him. Think he lifts weights?
Yes.
2-2 pitch. Orsulak pops the ball up to the left side. It should drift out of play, and it does.
Let's check that play. You see him moving just out. You see that left knee goes right into the ground. That's why he got up kind of limping. You can bet that got a few oohs and ahs in the dugout from the trainer.
Gant's been swinging the bat well lately for the Reds. Got off to a slow start. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men out. Bobby Bonilla on second base, and that's up 1-0 here in the first inning. Orsulak slaps the ball left side, base hit. Here comes Bonilla. Here comes the throw from Gant. Not in time, cut off. The throw to second, and then Orsulak safe at second base. Good base running by Orsulak, and the Mets are up 2-0 here in the first inning.
He told you that Smith likes to work down and away, down and away, down and away to the left-handers. Both Bonilla and Orsulak going the opposite way to drive in runs. Now Gant, who was really talented in charging the ball and had a really good arm, you can see he suffered a lot because of those injuries. Ball is cut off, and no tag is made. Fine call. Brett Boone did not get the glove on Orsulak.
Matter now, Edgardo Alfonso filling in for Jeff Kent at second base today, and he just took ball 1 from Pete Smith. Boy, the Mets have to be happy about these 2 young kids, Alfonso and Otero, coming up from Binghamton. Alfonso hits the ground ball to short. Larkin to Morris, and that'll do it for the Mets, but they pick up 2 runs here in the first inning. Reds coming to bat, score, Mets 2, Reds nothing. Well, there's the line scores. We go to the bottom of the first inning, and right now we will check out the Reds batting order. Deion Sanders leads it off. He'll be followed by Brett Boone and then Barry Larkin. The middle 3, Ron Gant, Hal Morris, and Reggie Sanders. The bottom 3, Benito Santiago, Jeff Branson, and then Pete Smith.
Dave Malecki on the mound for his first start. He has a 1-0 record. They have not got an earned run in on him yet.
He'll pitch to Deion Sanders, who's struggling right now, batting 179. Sanders takes a strike. Sanders still trying to establish himself in the major leagues. And the 0-1 pitch is down low, so it's 1-1 on Deion Sanders.
There's been a lot of talk about him having trouble against left-handed pitchers. Right now he's struggling against the right-handers. Only 3 hits and 28 at-bats against the right-handers this year.
He just took a breaking ball for a strike, 1-2. Talking to his batting coach, Hal McRae, before the game. Hal said the biggest thing is his head. He said he can't keep his head on the ball. He said he's moving his head off the ball. 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball up high. 2-2. Got to be tough to play with the jewelry on, huh?
Don't get me started now. You try to get me out there.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. That ball beats Sanders. It's a fly ball to center field. It's an easy play for Brett Butler. 1 down. And speaking of Brett Butler, the Mets defense is brought to you by the U.S. Postal Service. And there it is right there. Bronya, Alfonso, Vizcaino, and Bonilla in the infield. Left to right in the outfield. Orsulak, Butler, and Everett. Hundley behind the plate. So 1-man gun here in the bottom of the first inning. It'll bring to the plate Brett Boone. Boone batting 343 with 1 home run, 3 RBIs. Last year he batted 320 with 12 home runs and 68 RBIs. He drives the ball to deep right field. Everett going back in front of the warning track and making the grab. 2 down. A lot of the Cincinnati Reds people feel that this kid here has a chance of being the best hitter on the ball club, Brett Boone. Right now they say Barry Larkin is the best hitter in the club, and he's at home plate. Larkin is batting .444.
Well, Hal Morris is off to a kind of a miserable start, but he will be there before the end of the season. He is also another guy that can hit for a high average.
Well, they get some talent on this ball club. That's why there's so much frustration out here in Cincinnati. You can feel it in the Reds clubhouse. With this slow start, they're 1-8 coming to today's action. And Larkin just took a low strike, 0-1.
A lot of ex-Mets in the coaching and managing staff of this club, with Knight at third and Youngblood at first. Davey Johnson, the manager.
Larkin takes outside, 1-1. There's Ray Knight at third base. Joel Youngblood over at first. And a 1-1 pitch. Knocked down by Bobby Bowe at third, across the infield, and he takes Bronya off the base. So I believe it will be scored an error on Bobby Bonilla.
Well, he gets in front of it. The hop comes up. He gets a good bounce right at him, but the throw is going to be too high, and it makes Bronya leave the bag, and that's why Larkin is safe. And
it has scored an error on Bobby Bowe. To bring to the plate very dangerous Ron Gant. Gant batting .364, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. He was picked up by the Reds to do this, swing the bat. It's a fastball on the corner for a strike. Gant was in the 30-30 club as a member of the Atlanta Braves, the only Brave ever to be in the 30-30 club. 3 straight years. .30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. And the 0-1 pitch. Nice scoop by Todd Hundley. When Gant first came up to the major leagues with the Atlanta Braves, he came up as an infielder and struggled. They sent him from the major leagues all the way down to A-ball to become an outfielder. He's become an adequate outfielder before the leg injury. But he can pound that baseball. Larkin leading off first base.
That leg injury took place on a motorcycle accident. Something that not only hurt Gant, but hurt the ball club he was with. Hard to believe that you could take that chance. But some players do.
And the 1-1 pitch. On the outside corner again. He's just taken 2 nasty strikes. He's just hoping. Well, lucky doesn't throw the next one there. Ray Knight flashing signs. 1-2 on the Red left fielder.
Not wrong about those guns, though. He's got some guns.
He's bigger now than he's ever been. I just checked the runner at first base, Barry Larkin. Larkin with good speed. He's had some leg injuries himself. Fake knee on 1-2 pitch fouled off. Good breaking ball. Gant staying alive.
Larkin with 2 out of 3 as far as his stolen bases are concerned this early part of the season.
You can see Gant looking down. There's Larkin. Gant was looking down at Ray Knight. See if they were going to put Larkin in motion. Maybe the fake by Larkin disturbed Gant at the plate.
I know one thing, there's a gigantic hole on the right side. Gigantic.
They check Larkin again. Edgardo Alfonso playing Gant way over there to pull. And the 1-2 pitch. Fouled back, so we'll do it again at 1-2.
Gant looked like he took a shot at it that time. He gets it on the ground on this AstroTurf in that direction. He's got a really good chance to move that ball through the infield.
And a 1-2 pitch. This is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you just tuned in to Sports Channel, Cincinnati Reds and the New York Mets, the second game of this 3-game series. It's 2-0. The Mets on top of the Reds. 2 men are gone here in the bottom of the first inning. Ron Gant batting against Dave Malecki. And Barry Larkin on first base. 2-2 pitch. Gant flies the ball to the right side. Carl Everett going over. It's an easy play for the right fielder, and that'll do it for the Reds here in the first. They fail to score. They strand a runner. We've played 1 here at Riverfront Stadium, and it's 2-0 New York. Now back here at Riverfront Stadium, sun-drenched Riverfront Stadium. There's the line score. 2-0 the Mets on top of the Reds. Young Carl Everett will lead it off for the Mets. He'll be followed by Todd Hundley, then the pitcher Dave Malecki. Pete Smith's pitch to Carl Everett is a strike. Everett batting .216, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs. And the 0-1 pitch fouls the ball off with the attempted bunt. We talked about the 2 other youngsters on the Mets, Ricky Otero and Edgardo Alfonso. Here's a young man the Mets picked up from the Florida Marlins.
You know, the 15th of May is going to be a tough decision day for Dallas Green and his coaching staff.
Everett fouls the ball off.
Everybody will have to revert back to 25-man rosters. Those 3 people have to go down.
Dallas Green will have to make those decisions along with his coaching staff and the front office. Joe McIlvaine, Jerry Hunsaker. And the 0-2 pitch to Everett, down low. 1-2.
I'm sure they'd hate to impede the growth of a young player by not giving him an opportunity to play much. The young player really needs to be on the field.
Swung on and missed. Santiago will throw to first. 1 down. Well, Otero is 23 years old. Alfonso 21 years old. had good years in Binghamton last year, made the jump from Double-A ball to the big leagues. And a batter now, Todd Hundley. Hundley with 3 home runs so far this year, 11 RBIs. He's batting .296. 2 grand slams. He takes down low for Pete Smith, 1-0. Todd Hundley facing a guy he should know very well. Pete Smith. He caught him last year. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Off the plate outside, 2-0. You've caught so many pitches for Todd. Has caught so many pitches from Pete Smith. He knows the type of ball movement Pete Smith has. He knows how the breaking ball moves. He knows how he thinks. You know everything about it. That might have been a ball, but Todd Hundley took it for a strike. 2-1. Mike Winters, the home plate umpire. Good to have the umpires back, especially after that problem up there in Montreal. Up high, 3-1. When the Expos batted out of order, chaos was all around. It was a wild night. The last night of those replacement umpires. And a 3-1 pitch. Hundley pulls the ball to the right side. Morris flips to Smith. 2 down. So Todd Hundley grounds out to Hal Morris, and the batter now will be the pitcher, Dave Malecki. 2-0, the Mets on top of the Reds here in the top of the 2nd inning. Mets scored the 2 runs in the first. Rico Bronya walked, scored on a double off the bat of Bobby Bonilla. Then Joe Orsulak picked up a base hit into left field, driving in Bonilla from second base. Malecki fouls the ball off in his first major league at bat.
Yep.
0-1.
This is a new experience for Dave. Got it down on the handle. He's letting it fly.
He just fouled it off right up below us.
He hasn't quite got that trigger figured out yet.
And if you listen to the pitchers talk during batting practice, you think they can all hit. And the 0-2 pitch. First at bat, first strikeout for Dave Malecki. Mets go quietly here in the 2nd inning. We've played 1.5, and it's 2-0 New York. There's the line score. Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati, Ohio. The Mets on top of the Reds 2-0 after besting the Reds last night 3-0. It'll be Hal Morris for Cincinnati. He'll be followed by Reggie Sanders and then Benito Santiago. Hal Morris has been struggling, but they tell me that average is deceiving. Although when you look at it, I'm sure it bothers Hal Morris. He's been hitting the ball a lot harder than that average. He takes outside Dave Malecki, ball 1. Hal Morris, a one-time member of the New York Yankee organization. When Lou Piniella came over to the Reds to manage, Bob Quinn came over as the new general manager. They traded for this former Yankee. He's done the job. Takes up high, 2-0. Now Morris has been to the plate 33 times this year. And he hits a drive to deep right field. Gone! Home run, Hal Morris.
You fall behind an account on the really good hitters. You have to throw that fastball. You give a good one to hit. The really good hitters really don't miss it.
Well, he showed you Morris's average. Didn't matter here.
Full extension. Everybody in the ballpark knows that one's history.
He hit 10 home runs last year as Reggie Sanders takes a breaking ball for a strike from Dave Malecki. Reggie Sanders last year hit 17 home runs for the Reds. He takes a fastball for a ball, 1-1. Sanders right now batting .214 with 1 home run, 3 RBIs. He's a good player. Well, his hands are collapsing on that breaking ball. 1-2. He hit 20 home runs in '93, Reggie Sanders did.
Rare combination of power and speed. A lot of people felt that he might have the inklings of being a superstar someday.
Takes down and in, breaking ball again, 2-2.
That potential eventually has to come forward into reality.
And a 2-2 pitch. Sanders takes a pretty good pitch for a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sanders will be followed by Benito Santiago. Sanders struck out 114 times last year in 400 at-bats. He fouls the ball off to the right side. Strike out 114 times in 400 at-bats. What do you think is the pitch he likes to hit and the pitch he doesn't like to hit? We've seen those hands collapse now 3 times with this at-bat on the breaking ball. There's that fastball fouled off. So full count on Sanders.
Cincinnati ballpark in general is a very good hitter's ballpark. You obviously have the AstroTurf, but the ball jumps in this ballpark, particularly once it gets warm.
So you have the artificial turf, which adds about 15 points onto your average, and you have a ballpark where the ball jumps.
You gotta love it if you're the hitters.
And a 3-2 pitch. Old foul. So we'll do it again at 3-2. You're talking about potential superstars. A couple days ago, the Reds sent down a kid they very high on. They thought he was going to play third base all year. Willie Green told us before the ball game that he just wasn't doing anything. He lost his confidence. And hopefully he goes back to Indianapolis and gets his confidence back. 3-2 pitch. Fouled back. As you mentioned, Rusty, that word potential can get a lot of players in trouble.
When you come in and you have all the tools, and the sky is the limit, but everybody wants to see the sky, not the limit.
3-2 pitch. Pulled foul. It's 2-1. The Mets on top of the Reds. We're in the bottom of the 2nd inning here at Riverfront Stadium. Nice crowd on hand for this ball game. Swung on and missed. Good fastball. 1 down. And the Coors Mets Trivia Quiz. It's brought to you by Coors and Coors Light. Which National League player won the Triple Crown in the same year that War Admiral won the Triple Crown for thoroughbred racing? We'll tell you the answer after the batter. Of course, not far from here. A very important race today.
The Kentucky Derby will be run this afternoon around 5 o'clock in that area. Everybody talking about it today.
Benito Santiago swings through a fastball, 0-1. In fact, the phrase Triple Crown winner originated in horse racing, was adopted by baseball.
And they've been about as rare in baseball as they have been in horse racing.
Breaking ball misses down low, 1-1. Although one year really surprised me in baseball, there was a Triple Crown winner in the American League and a Triple Crown winner in the National League. And I think his name was Klein in the American League, played in Philadelphia, Chuck Klein. And I believe Jimmy Fox won it in the American League.
Yep.
1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. 1-2.
Well, this is going to be one of those late fooled swings, anticipating fastball, and then has a horrible hack at a breaking pitch. We've all been there. Ramon Hernandez used to make me look terrible.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Whoa!
It was pretty close.
Benito Santiago was fooled. He must have lost that ball. It wasn't even close to him. Almost a strike.
He's looking down and away. You see where Hundley is. The ball hang up inside a little bit, but that's not that far off the plate.
No.
He hit the turf.
So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on the Cincinnati Red catcher. Bad ball down low, 3-2.
You just saw his lifetime career average against the Mets and 9 lifetime home runs.
He drives the ball to right field. Everett in pursuit, unable to get it. Santiago heading to second base, and he'll hold on with the stand-up double. Now we'll take a look at the Coors Trivia answer. The question: which National League player won the Triple Crown in the same year that War Admiral won the Triple Crown for thoroughbred racing? And the winner, or I should say the answer, is Joe Medwick. Joe Medwick won the Triple Crown in baseball, and War Admiral won the Triple Crown in horse racing. The only year that both horse racing and baseball had Triple Crown winners. And the batter now, Jeff Branson, takes down low, ball 1. Branson filling in at third base. I mentioned how Willie Green was sent to the minor leagues a couple days ago, so Branson will see a lot of action against right-handers at third base. Pulls the ball foul.
He didn't get a lot of at-bats against the Mets last year, but in the 8 he had, he did get 4 hits. Some guys just seem to like a certain uniform.
Branson will be followed by the pitcher, Pete Smith. And the 1-1 pitch swung and it missed. 1-2. Missed. That'll do it for Branson. And the ball's thrown to first base. Nice play by Bronya. Ball hit the dirt. So Hundley had to go out and throw it to Bronya. Sometimes the easiest plays for a catcher are the most difficult.
It's down in the dirt. Hundley's up. I'm like, no, I can't get him. I'll just take my time. And Bronya was on the run. It went behind him. He made a great play and got his foot on the bag just in time.
So 2 strikeouts in this inning for Milwaukee. Nice play by Rico Bronya at first base. That'll bring to the plate the pitcher Pete Smith. Smith takes a strike from Milwaukee. So it's 0-1. I mentioned those Atlanta Braves. They have a 6-2 record on the year. Phillies trailed in by 1 game in the East. Montreal a game and a half out. Mets 2.5 back, and those Florida Marlins are struggling, even in attendance, surprisingly. They're 4 games back. Strike, 0-2. Well, the Marlins, if one team was going to draw day in and day out, it was the Marlins up until this baseball strike.
They start winning, they'll start drawing.
Outside, 1-2. There are some teams that have to be concerned about the lack of attendance. The St. Louis Cardinals, they've been struggling in the attendance department. 1-2 pitch. Pete Smith takes strike 3. But the Reds pick up a run and a home run off the bat of Hal Morris. We've played 2 here at Riverfront Stadium on a beautiful afternoon, and it's Mets 2, Reds 1. at the top of the third inning here at Riverfront Stadium. The Lions score 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Mets. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Reds. Pete Smith taking his warm-up tosses. He will face the top of the Met batting order. Brett Butler, Jose Vizcaino, and then Rico Brogna. Gave you the Eastern Division standings in the National League. Central Division, Houston on top of the Cubs by half a game. Cardinals 2.5 back. Pirates 3.5 back. And the Reds 5 games out. Colorado leading the West. The Giants 1.5 back. The Dodgers 2 out. And the Padres 3.5 out. Brett Butler steps in to face Pete Smith. He takes a strike, 0-1. Butler grounded out to Brett Boone in his first at bat. This ball right back off of Smith's glove, and he has an infield hit. So Brett Butler on first base, leading off here in the third inning.
He struggled actually a little bit on this road trip. Only was 1 for 9. That'll get him a second hit on this road trip, and he hits it well right back through the middle, just off the glove. Unfortunately for him, it bounced so high up in the air there was no chance for Branson to make the play.
So Butler on first base, setting the table for Jose Vizcaino. Vizcaino grounded out to Brett Boone in the first.
You have a pitcher who likes to work outside. You have a guy who likes to hit and run.
You have a third baseman in looking for the bunt. They check Butler at first.
Mets have been very aggressive with the sacrifice.
Absolutely.
They lead the National League in that area with 14.
Well, Dallas Green using the bunt, putting runners in motion. Very aggressive manager. There goes Butler. He's in motion. Vizcaino fouls the ball off.
Reds were thinking right along with the Mets. They did not cover with Barry Larkin. They had the second baseman Brett Boone. We talked about that earlier in the season. In the hit and run situations to switch off and make everything be against the grain of the normal hit and run play.
And the Mets, as Rusty mentioned, lead the league with 14 sacrifice bunts. Jose Vizcaino, who is batting right now, has 5. Check Butler again. Branson still playing in at third base. Don Gullett flashing the signs. So they have a manager, an assistant manager, and a coach who flashes the signs. Flashing the signs to the catcher Benito Santiago.
He likes that backdoor breaking ball. Talking about Pete Smith, he likes to throw that pitch out there.
Don Gullett flashing signs. Well, he told me before the ball game he does not call the pitches. Santiago flashing signs, and Pete Smith steps off the rubber. Check Butler at first base.
Smith has a pretty good move for a right-handed pitcher to first, and he uses it a lot.
0-2 on Vizcaino. Right back up the middle. Boone played him perfectly. It becomes a good, easy double play, 4-6-3.
Brett Boone making it look easy. The ball was hit extremely hard. And on the turf, that means it's going to get to the fielder that much quicker. Larkin got rid of it and tried to get out of the way in a hurry. Remember in the game last night, Jeff Kent was taken out hard. You saw Butler go in hard to try to make Larkin realize that that's a two-way street.
So 2 minutes gone. The batter now, Rico Brogna. He walked in the first inning, came around to score. Takes outside, 1 ball. Brogna fouls the ball back, 1-1. When you think of Rico Brogna, he was a big prospect, #1 draft pick with the Tigers. Couldn't get up to the major leagues because they had a pretty good hitter in his position. Cecil Fielder. So what happens? He gets traded to the Mets. The Mets have a fine fielding first baseman in David Segui, who ends up in left field. And Bronya ends up as the starting first baseman. Figure this game out. 2-1 on Rico Bronya. While Bronya was a member of the Tigers organization, he tried to become a pull hitter. So he takes a pitch on the outside part of the plate from Pete Smith, 2-2. They said he was a good hitter until somebody convinced him in order to play at Tiger Stadium in Detroit, you're going to have to be a pull hitter. Well, it didn't work. He's back to using the whole field. 2-2 pitch. Fouls the ball back. So we'll do it again at 2-2. If you recall in spring training when Bronya hit 3 home runs at Vero Beach against the Dodgers, all 3 of his home runs were hit to left field.
His 2 home runs this season have been to dead center field.
Down low, 3-2.
Remember, Smith likes that backdoor curveball. When you're the hitter, you can't quit on this guy.
See his hits? He's using the whole field. Right there, he pulls the outside pitch, grounds weakly to Morris at first base. And that'll do it for the Mets here in the top of the third. 3 up, 3 down. We play 2.5, and it's 2-1 New York. Bottom of the third inning. Deion Sanders steps in and takes down low from Dave Malecki. 1-0. When Deion Sanders was a youngster growing up in Fort Myers, Florida, he used to go over to the Royal Spring Training Camp and, like all youngsters, want to get his hands on some baseballs, and told Hal McRae he got a lot of balls at McRae. And he drives this ball deep right field. Everett in pursuit, over the wall. Line drive home run for Deion Sanders. And Everett hammered the wall. And he's hurt his shoulder. Uh-oh.
That is a quick ball out of the ballpark. Hard line drive, just getting over the wall. And watch Everett. He's going to hit it really hard with his left shoulder. He has not looked. He hit it full force. He did not take that quick peek. And he hit it with a lot of impact. You want to hit that wall coming down, not going up.
Well, this ball game is all tied at 2. The batter now, Brett Boone, who flied to right field his first time out. He takes outside, ball 1. So Deion Sanders hitting a rope over the right field fence. Boone takes a strike, 1-1. You know that this Cincinnati Red ball club all of a sudden is going to come out of this slump.
The Mets have to just hope that they're going to get through this weekend before they do it. There's a couple of signs that they're ready to swing the bats.
And Boone gets under a hanging breaking ball, pulls it foul. 1-2.
That was Deion's first home run of the season, his second RBI.
What an athlete, Deion Sanders. He's an exciting athlete. 1-2 pitch. Took a pretty good pitch there, but they say he did not go around. Brett Boone had a fine career in college. You mentioned his dad. His dad now managing the Kansas City Royals. His grandfather played 13 years, was an all-star in the American League. Just retired as a scout for the Red Sox as Brett Boone fouls the ball back. Brett has a younger brother in the Cincinnati Red organization, Aaron Boone. They say he's a major league prospect.
The Bells are another family that have 3 generations in the big leagues. Buddy Bell is Father Gus and Buddy's son.
Ray Boone, the grandfather, a fine player, as Brett Boone takes outside. 3-2. I mentioned earlier, the thing they like about Brett Boone is he's very confident. It's a high fly ball to right field. Everett's got plenty of room and makes the grab. And now we'll take a look at the league leaders. Brought to you by Chrysler. Tony Gwynn, that's not a surprise, leading the league. How about Eric Karros, batting .462. Barry Larkin, who's batting now, is hitting .444.
And if you heard the fireworks coming late, they must have been a clog in the ointment somewhere, because they were a little late on the home run burst for Deion Sanders that came after an out. He said we owe the fans a display.
They got it.
They got me too. I almost went under the table.
Barry Larkin takes a strike, 0-1. We're all tied at 2 here in the bottom of the third inning. About 4 or 5 years ago, everybody in baseball felt this guy at the plate was the best player in all of baseball. Barry Larkin. It's a chopper to short. Vizcaíno over to Bronya, 2 down. Some injuries have set Barry Larkin back.
It's hard to understand why certain people get injured and others don't. But majority of the time, players really don't play a full season without having something bothering them. It's just some of them handle it better than others. And of course, you do get more serious injuries sometimes.
Ron Gant takes up high, ball 1. Talking about Barry Larkin, he spoke out after the ball game last night as the leader of the Reds ball club. He was the only one to speak. The clubhouse was closed, and he was quite vocal. As Gant takes a strike, 1-1. So Larkin, a leader on the club. You got to assume that Ron Gant will become a leader on this ball club the more he produces on the field. 1-2 pitch. And Gant drives the ball left field. Orsulak there makes the grab for out number 3. So the Reds tied the ball game up in a home run off the bat of Deion Sanders. We played 3 here at Riverfront, and we're all tied at 2.
Top of the 4th inning, it'll be Bobby Bowe to lead it off. He got the Mets on the scoreboard with a double to left center field in his first at bat. There it is, 2-2. Both teams with 3 hits. The error by Bonilla. And he is facing Pete Smith. Ball down in the dirt, way in front of the plate. Bonilla has taken the Cincinnati Reds deep 28 times in his career. Good ballpark to pop the ball. 2 balls and no strikes to Bobby. He's in the driver's seat. We will see what Pete Smith decides to come with. You can watch Santiago behind the plate. Up and away. .297 career average, 28 home runs, 68 RBIs against the Reds in 94 games. 3-0. Make it a quick pass. Don Gullett, you know he's not happy seeing the leadoff batter walk to get on.
Don flashing signs once again to Benito Santiago. Since he told me he does not call the pitches, it must be whether or not to pitch out or to tell the pitcher to throw to first base. That's not a bad idea if it comes from the bench. As far as calling the pitches, that should be the catcher.
I think all that stuff from the bench is exaggerated in this era of baseball.
Absolutely.
Strike called. You're supposed to have meetings before the game. Talk to your catcher about what you want done. I think they've taken some of the ad-libs, some of the natural things that a catcher should develop in his own mind, how to call a game, when to call a pitch out. He knows if his pitcher likes this or doesn't like that, if he's really worked with his pitcher a bit. Obviously, Santiago has not had that opportunity.
Yeah, but it doesn't take that long.
But we got managers calling every pitch in the game, calling pitch outs. Orsulak holds up.
plus in the course of a ball game, if the team loses, the catcher, you tend to second guess the catcher. Leave the catcher alone.
You think that's actually happened in baseball before? That someone second guessed one of those catchers?
I think it's more prevalent today than ever before. I think Todd Hundley's development would have been a lot smoother and a lot quicker if they just put him out there, let him catch, and let him hit.
Bonilla back in at first.
But something goes wrong, and the first thing they do is point the finger at the pitch. Okay, who called the pitch? Well, it's the catcher, so it's his fault.
Spoken like a true catcher. We're finished with that oration now. Joe Orsulak takes that pitch. 2 balls and a strike.
There's a great story Woody Herzog tells about the Mets. So when Jerry Gordy first started catching for the Mets, they said he wasn't a real intelligent catcher. Then Tom Seaver came on the scene, and he said once every 4 days, he was a genius. Then Jerry Koosman came on the scene.
Twice every 4 days.
That's right. If a pitcher can pitch, he's going to win.
See the signs from Santiago. Moving a little bit, but he doesn't give a sign real quick. Ground ball right at the first baseman, knocked down. And Orsulak tagged directly by Hal Morris. Bonilla moves to second on the play. The first baseman and the third baseman really don't like the ball to hit the mud in front of their bags.
Here it is again. And Hal Morris knocks it down. You have good reflexes, play first or third, because you see a lot of those block it with your chest tricks. So Morris got the job done. Bonilla advanced.
Eduardo Alfonso. He's 0 for 1 in this game. Boy, nice play by Santiago. Alfonso, a couple of doubles in the game last night. In fact, he's 3 for 10. All 3 hits have been doubles. He does have 3 RBIs. Santiago moving outside. And he goes that way, coming in hard, but stopping is Reggie Sanders. That had to stop Bonilla. Looked like that ball might have a chance of being caught. So a base hit, the runner moves to third.
That was good hitting by Alfonso. Nice swing. Here it is again. Keeps his head down, puts the bat on the ball, and lofts it into right field in front of Reggie Sanders.
That'll bring up Carl Everett. He has struggled on this trip.
Told me when Alfonso first joined the Mets, Jerry Hunsaker said that Alfonso, when he joined the Mets as an 18-year-old out of the Dominican, he was mature beyond his age. Still is.
1 down, Reds looking for the double play. Breaking ball out over the plate. Again, if you're in a team meeting before this game starts, if there's any one thing the left-handed hitter should be aware of, is that he likes to work the outside part of the plate and likes to throw the backdoor curve. He did it all last year. They were there to watch it.
Yeah, they should remember it from last year.
Some of the new players should have at least been told. They've taken a lot of pitches that are not low in the strike zone, but just on the outside portion of the plate that have been curveballs.
Sure, Tom McGraw has talked to the hitters. Tom, the batting instructor with the Mets.
Time called. So Bonilla on third, Alfonso on first. 1 down, we're all tied at 2 in the top of the 4th inning. Mets trying to take the lead. Everett swings. Ball is fouled off into Santiago. 0-2.
Seems that a forgotten man with the Mets is Ryan Thompson, who injured himself in spring training. Now they're calling him Wally Pipp. Never fails, does it?
You know stuff like that happens. He didn't ask out. He really got injured. And Everett only 2 for 17 on this road trip. Fastball tapped in front of home plate. And good play by Bonilla. There's no chance. Good play by Bonilla. He timed it. They had to get rid of the ball to get Everett with his speed. And as soon as it was let go, he went to home plate. put the Mets out ahead 3-2. Fine run and play by Bonilla.
Boy, that was terrific. And Pete Smith didn't even look at Bonilla at third base because of Everett's speed. Ball wasn't hit that hard, so Pete Smith picked it up, went right to first with the ball. Watch this, as soon as he brings an arm up, Bonilla's gone. Didn't even look at Bonilla. Bonilla was creeping down the line, and very good base running by Bobby Bonilla.
So the Mets take the lead on excellent base running by Bobby Bowe. Hundley takes ball one. Hundley has grounded first to the pitcher.
They're walking Todd Hundley.
Well, that pitch there was a rough one. The intentional walk. Might better stay loose here. Yeah, that's a little better.
Well, this is why it's so tough to be a number 8 hitter.
Hundley draws the walk.
Then when they're pitching to you in a situation like this, they're not giving you anything to hit.
Well, particularly today with Mielicki never having had an at-bat before this afternoon's ball game, you know whoever that 8-slot hitter is, as long as Mielicki is going to be staying in the game, is not going to get much to hit. And with 2 outs and a runner on second, 0 hits. Here's Bobby Bowe talking to Cal Everett. Up and into Mielicki. He tells me his best chance might be to just not swing till 2 strikes. That can be a plus. You don't get yourself out. He fouls that one off. Guess you can't really take total aggression away from any hitter. And how are you going to learn if you don't try? 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. Runners at first and second. Mets have a 3-2 lead here in the top of the 4th inning. Everybody shifted over toward right field. Breaking ball, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tomorrow afternoon will be Jason Hakami against Jose Rio. To finish off the series here, Mets will come home. Ground ball to the second baseman, Boone. That'll end the inning. But the Mets get on the board. Bobby Bowe, good base running. After 3.5, it's the Mets 3, the Reds 2. Al Morris will lead off the 4th. He led off the 2nd with a long home run. Mielicki fell behind him 2 balls and no strikes. Came in with a fastball, and Morris turned it around completely. Mets won the first game of this series 3-0 behind Bobby Jones. Fine performance by Jones. Morris waiting, stands way away from home plate, way away from the plate, walks in. The only other person I think I've ever remembered to walk in quite like that, I mean, John Stearns, who works with the Cincinnati ball club, used to walk around a little bit in the batter's box, but active feet for Hal Morris. See him walking in, high fly ball was center field. Butler, 1 down. He is the most active guy in the box that I know, Francis.
Well, here it is. You'll see it again. Hal Morris moving around quite a bit. Moving around, almost walking into the ball. He's walking towards the ball when he hits. So he's away from the plate, and boy, he really moves around. Moved his back foot.
Quite a bit. Reggie Sanders in his 2nd at bat. Mielicki struck him out the first time. Hundley, see where he sets up. He wants it down and away. Just throws that ball right by Sanders.
Plenty of different stances you'll see. Of course, the stance is important for the hitter as far as comfort is concerned. The most important thing is the movement back and then towards the ball with the bat.
Another fastball. This time it misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, Huntley right in that same spot. This time it's a breaking ball coming kind of right back at us. You were calm. I was bailing.
Good view. It wasn't even coming close. So we were in good shape. But, you know, talking about those stances, you see some very unorthodox stances, and then you see more conservative stances.
Sanders with a normal stance. Off-speed pitch, backed up a little bit. He almost bent right down into that one.
That's the second time it's happened today. That ball wasn't that close. Happened to Benito Santiago earlier in the ball game. Watch this. It's the backup breaking ball, and Sanders ducking like it was coming right towards him.
Going for the second time, he goes after a bad pitch.
It'd be tough to pick up the ball right now. Maybe it's getting. I can't. The background looks pretty good out there. The dark background in center field.
Background here, I don't ever recall being a major problem. So strikeout number 4 for Malicki. And Santiago, who had a double, takes ball 1. For the most part, again, Santiago way off the plate. When you see everybody working down and away so much, Huntley just sitting out there in that outside part of the plate. Going right into the glove. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'll take a look at my lackey's delivery. As we get that side angle. Goes right after the hitter. He's had some pretty good records in the minor leagues, mostly winning records.
That time the off-speed pitch catches the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's a hopeful that he can fill the bill and fill out the rotation for Dallas Green. This time just off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's Big D, surrounded by his coaches. Wine on the right, Havlick on the left. Just missing on the inside corner. They asked Terry Tata. He says no swing. The Mets and the Reds. Bottom of the 4th inning. Mets ahead by 1 run. Just getting a little piece of that one is Santiago. Count 3-2. Matt Grott warming in the bullpen for the Reds. Davey Johnson already looking at a pinch hitter for Pete Smith if they get down to him. Grant Jackson out there with the pitcher. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good inning. 2 strikeouts. 5th strikeout for Malicki. Back, and Butler slaps one down the left field line, foul for strike 1. Brett's 1 for 2. All the defenses shift him to left field. The third baseman playing in. First baseman in a little bit. It's been Pete Smith against Dave Malicki. Mets ahead by 1. Top of the 5th. Curveball misses. 1-1. Mets beat the Reds 4 of the 6 games they played against each other last year. Mets swept the 3-game series at Shea. Won 1 of 3 here. That curveball catches. 1-2. Butler obviously not happy with the call. Butler hits a little ball right out front of the plate. Quick throw to first base by Smith. 1 down. Vizcaino has grounded to second twice. One time, his last time up, it was a double play. So the ball thrown out of the game. .316 lifetime average against the Reds coming into today's action for Vizcaino. Boy, and Pete Smith way outside and not even close on that pitch. Ball one. They get ball two. Fran, Vizcaino, Santiago looks like he steps to the outside part of the plate but keeps the glove back in the middle of it. I don't understand that.
Very, very active. The most active I've seen behind the plate.
3 quick balls to Vizcaino.
Sometimes pitchers don't like a catcher to be that active behind that plate. They like him to be quiet so they can concentrate on the target.
And this is going to be a 3-0 pitch. It'll be a fastball. Odd, all 4 pitches about the same exact location. 4th walk given up by Pete Smith. 1 was intentional.
Well, we mentioned earlier how Pete Smith likes to work away, away, away. Some pitchers like that target to move out to the outside part of the plate. Other pitchers want you to keep your body behind the plate and just move the glove.
Well, 2 of the runners that he has walked, not the one intentional walk, but 2 other walks have scored. Mets leading 3-2. Bronya goes after a bad pitch, strike 1.
And Santiago has been struggling with his throwing. Even when he was younger, I thought he struggled with his throwing when he had to come up. When he was down, he could throw from his knees. He had a very strong arm. Problem with that is as you get older, you lose some of that arm strength. And you have to have proper mechanics coming out of the chute, and he never developed them. But he was very exciting when he threw from his knees.
He also had a very abbreviated spring training, even more so than most people.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, you can be in throwing shape. I mean, if you're not in throwing shape or baseball shape today, these players are crazy.
Up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I know there's been a lot of talk about the shape of players. I mean, years ago, players used to work in the offseason, so they would not report in shape. Of course, they weren't using weights. Today, these guys don't work in the offseason. All they can do is work out. They have to be in shape.
Well, they should be. But some people believe in cross-training, not doing the exact same thing that they would do during the year.
But you can still mix in. I mean, they're crazy if they don't keep their arms in shape. It's their bread and butter. Why go to spring training and hurt your arm?
Well, I agree with you.
I'm sure they've talked to these guys about it, too.
A ball and a strike. Rico Bronya. He has scored a run and grounded out. He's that backdoor breaking ball that misses. 2 balls, 1 strike. Fans, his breaking action ought to be a great time to break for the great taste of Bud Light. It's a big hit with fans everywhere. It won't fill you up, and it never lets you down. So make it a Bud Light.
Exactly what Mike Cubbage was flashing to the hitter, Rico Bronya.
Vizcaino being watched closely by Pete Smith. We told you he likes to throw the ball over there. This time to the plate, and Bronya hits it high, fairly deep to right center. Will it carry? Home run! Rico Bronya hits his 3rd home run of the season, and the Mets go ahead 5-2.
Don Gully can take the home run, but the base on balls, the Jose Vizcaino kills you. So once again, Pete Smith walking a Met batter, and he's scoring after the walk. Here comes Davey Johnson.
So Davey Johnson.
As you look at the home run off the bat of Rico Bronya, good swing by Bronya. We talked about Bronya using the whole field before, and he hits the ball over the right center field fence. So Rico Bronya, a 2-run home run, and the Mets now have a 5-2 lead. We have a new pitcher. Matt Grott on in relief of Pete Smith. You see those stats, 1 game. Zeros across the board. The rest of the story. So Matt Grott on to pitch against the New York Mets, and he will have his work cut out from his Bobby Bonilla, who doubled his first time up, steps in to face the left-hander. Well, it looks like we got to go up. Do we? There it is. The old double switch.
So Sanders coming out of the game. Trying to find out who has replaced him. With Grott on the mound. Bonilla waiting. Ball 1. Thomas Howard is the new right fielder. Bonilla hits one that direction, but it's going to sail into the seats. Bonilla going in the gap the other way this time. Ball bounces, stays in the ballpark. It's at least a double. Bonilla's trying for third. The relay throw from the shortstop is offline. Triple. Bobby Bo makes a good decision. Gets to third base with only 1 out. And Orsulak will come up with probably a drawn-in infield.
Well, that was a second good decision for Bobby Bonilla as far as base running goes today. Here it is. The ball is overthrown, but the backoff cutoff man makes the play and flips to third. Good hustle by Bobby Bonilla. Had the play in front of him, made the decision to stretch it into a triple, and he did. Earlier in the ball game, he scored on a ball that was tapped back to Pete Smith off the bat of Carl Everett. So good base running by Bobby Bonilla.
They call it baseball sense, a feel for the game. Twice today, Bonilla has shown it. Infield is drawn in. Little soft liner by the pitcher, but standing right at shortstop is Larkin. No chance for Bonilla to go in, so almost like a check swing from Orsulak, and they're 2 down. It's a very frustrating thing when you're the hitter. You have to go to the plate with an idea of what you want to do. Some people just react at all times. If you go to the plate with an idea, this is what I want to do until I get 2 strikes, it's rare that you have those bad swings, especially in those situations where an infield is drawn in. You have such an opportunity. Ricardo Alfonso shortened up, took ball 1. Alfonso 1 for 2. Popped up and out of play. Count will be 1 ball and 1 strike. So when the 2-run home run by Rico Brogna, Mets now leading by 3 runs. 5 runs on 6 hits for the Mets. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Reds. Matt Grott relieving Pete Smith. This time it is bunted down the third base line by Alfonso. Branson was playing back a little bit. It is obviously one of the tools that Edgardo wants to use. Now he's behind in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And trying to protect that plate with the ball in play. Only takes a single to get Bonilla in. A lot of time taking by Grott. Alfonso stepped out. Now they're ready. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Up and away, 2-2.
See that ball bounce out of Benito Santiago's glove. That's what you call hard hands.
That's what you call a clanger.
Jeez.
Clang. You can hear it yelling in the dugout right now.
See, pitchers don't like that. They like to have a catcher back there with soft hands, but they want to hear the glove pop.
There is a pop. Fairly deep left field. Oh, it's lost in the sun. Alfonso will go to third base. At least he might get a chance to score. They're going to send him. Here he comes, and no chance whatsoever. They might give an inside the park home run to Edgardo Alfonso, and Ron Gant couldn't find it. What a play.
Well, Ron Gant fought that sun, and then lost. It's got to be an inside the park home run. You can't give him an error on this ball. Lost his glasses down, up. He missed that ball completely.
And they're up.
His glasses were up. Misses the ball, loses it in the. Oh, he almost got hit in the face with that ball. Ball goes all the way to the wall. Deion Sanders chased it down, but Alfonso comes all the way around to score. And an inside the park home run. This is the second time this season we've seen an outfielder with his glasses not down.
Swing and a miss by Carl Everett.
And well, here it is again. Fighting the sun, didn't put the glasses down, almost took it in the face.
We saw Larry Walker do that in the second game of the season. It was in Colorado. Everett fouls it straight back behind 0-2. So it would look like an inning-ending high fly ball turned into an inside the park home run. Deion Sanders didn't back that play up very well. He assumed success. There is success by God on Everett. He strikes him out to end the inning. The fans aren't happy. They're booing, but the Mets are happy. 4 in the top of the 5th. They lead 7-2.
Back here at Riverfront Stadium, 7-2 now. This is a big blow right here. With the runner on base, Gant chasing the ball, fighting the sun, glasses still up, never put him down.
There's a ground ball on the first pitch right at the second baseman Alfonso over to Bronya, and Branson is out.
We'll take a look at Deion Sanders. What happens now? The left fielder has to go get the ball. Sanders coming all the way. He was in front of Gant. Now he chases the ball down and gets the ball back in. Look, when Gant didn't have the glasses down, it looked like when he hit the ground, he was about to flip him.
Well, I know one thing. Deion Sanders, as the center fielder, there's a strike called, is supposed to come over, especially, I mean, it's a day game. Everybody knows the sun's a problem in every ballpark in a day game. Sun's out bright. It's a bluebird day. You got to help each other out. I always say when you assume in baseball, you get yourself in trouble.
In the clubhouse in the Cincinnati Reds, Bluebird Day.
Yeah, you never heard of that? You've never been hunting in your life then?
No. I was going to say, in the Cincinnati Red clubhouse before the game, the atmosphere was not good.
It has not improved.
No, it hasn't.
No ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Last night after the game, the doors were closed, and Barry Larkin was lecturing the team. Davey Johnson was watching what was going on.
Strike 3 called on Thomas Howard. The double switch worked, but not that at bat. Sixth strikeout for Malecki. You have to wonder how long Dallas Green is going to go with Dave Malecki. He has not started a game since the season began. Deion Sanders shortened up. It was actually taking a strike there, I think. Sanders is fly to center and hit a home run. Wide stance, a little bit open. Again, showing bunt, pulls the ball back. 2-0.
Coming into today's action, as you look at Dallas Green looking on, Hal McCray, the batting instructor, was talking about Deion Sanders, how he was struggling. He said when he was swinging the bat, his head was not going down looking at the ball. It was moving all over the place. When he hit a home run, it had to go down.
He's hit another ball high and deep. Everett says, I have it. Butler says he has it, and Butler catches it. Center fielder has preference. The right fielder and left fielder have to back off. That's going to end that quick inning in the bottom of the 5th. Mets 7, Reds 2. Todd Hundley will lead off the 6th inning for New York, facing Matt Braun. Matt Grant with the delivery. Ball 1. Hundley in this game has grounded out and been walked intentionally. Long drive in the left. Back. Off the wall. Hundley may have trouble getting a double. He's going to try for it. And they dropped the ball. Brett Boone did not hold on. And Hundley's going to be safe. He would have been dead out had Boone kept the ball.
Well, they say in baseball you can't assume. And Todd Hundley has a double. We were assuming that this would be an out. Well played by Gant. Good throw. Looks like Brett Boone was over anxious and unable to glove the ball. Hundley in with a double. And the fans have been actively booing the Cincinnati Reds here.
Fordyce will pinch hit for Malicki. We'll see what Dallas Green, whether he wants to bunt or try to move the runner in another fashion.
Another young catcher the Mets have in their system. That's very high on Brooke Fordyce.
Santiago out to talk to the pitcher Grant. Let's take our GMC mid-game recap here. Well, maybe not. Maybe we'll have to wait a minute. GMC is going to come a little later. Strike called. Fordyce was not bunting. With a 5-run lead, Dallas Green being as aggressive as he can be. See the infield back. Ground ball right at the third baseman. Benson over to first base and Morris. One down. All right, we got those trucks started now. Our Tri-State GMC dealers. Quick game update. Bonilla double RBI, 3 runs scored. Look, he's 6 strikeouts and only 3 hits in the 5 innings he pitched. Now Alfonso, an inside the park home run in the 5th inning.
One of the most impressive things was a run scored by Bobby Bonilla on a ball that was tapped back to Pete Smith off the bat of Carl Everett. As soon as Pete Smith picked up the ball, didn't check Bonilla because of Everett's speed. He went to first base, and Bonilla timed it perfectly and scored. Stole a run for the Mets.
Terrific play by Bobby Bo. Bretler takes that pitch inside, ball 1. Today in baseball history, Babe Ruth hit his first major league home run. That was as a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox. Butler down the left field line, slicing it. It's fair. The fan has touched it. They're going to call a ground rule double.
Gant might have hurt that leg again.
Butler's running, but they have already called it a ground rule double. Butler's now being held up by the umpires. The fan touched it on the high bounce. So it will be a double and an RBI for Butler.
Gant hit that wall pretty hard over there in left field. Looked to me like he hammered it with his right knee. Take a look at it again. Hustling after the ball, unable to come up with a boom. And he had to chase that ball down, but it was touched by a fan, so grounds rule double. Now they're discussing this baby. The umpires are in a group in front of the mound discussing what went on. Now they can give him third base. If they feel that it could have been a triple, they can move him to third base. They're going to keep him at second base. But it's the umpire's discretion. They can put him at third. Look at the fan reaching over. And hammering the wall. Fan made a nice touch of the ball, interfering. And Brett Butler is on second base. That fan touched the ball. Butler could have been on third base.
I don't disagree.
And they can move him there.
Umpire's decision. Vizcaíno the hitter. Strike called. 1 down, top of the 6. Mets with an 8-2 lead. It has been New York offense today. That time with a tremendous pitching performance by Dave Malicki. That's Sullivan, who was just called up. Scott Sullivan. Vizcaino slices it down the right field side. Foul. 1-2. John Courtwright and Scott Sullivan just up with the Reds. Got here today, ready for today's action. Sullivan looks like he might get a chance to come in this first day of action. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. Butler leading off at second. Swing and a miss, and Vizcaino goes down on strikes. 2 down. Second strikeout for Grant. That'll bring up Rico Bronya. Bronya, a walk, a ground out, and a home run. 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Strike 1 call. Brett Boone playing in shallow right field. Down in the dirt. He will deepen out as you see him going back.
Really playing Bronya to the pull. Take a look at Larkin. He's moved over towards second base.
The count's 1-1. See Butler leading off second base. Curveball stays inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Mets trying to take the second game of this 3-game series. Mets won 3-0 last night. They're ahead 8-2, top of the 6th. Bronya fouls this one out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Big hole between short and third. Santiago gave the target outside, and yet the Reds are playing Bronya to pull.
Bronya does not stand up on the plate either. He hits it over to third baseman's head. Butler will come in and score easily. Bronya stops at first. 9 runs in for the Mets. And I'll be surprised if somebody doesn't come out of the dugout.
Figure that one out. They pitched him away and played him to pull. Bronya going with the pitch. We showed the stat before. Bronya has used the whole field. I guess once you hit a home run, they figure, oh, he's got a lot of power. He can pull the ball. But Bronya going the other way. He has a home run in this game. But he went the other way right there. Picked up an RBI. Davey Johnson on his way out to the mound, making a change.
So Scott Sullivan will get a chance to come in here. We're only in the top of the 6th inning. Mets ahead by 7 runs. And Bobby Bonilla will hit from the left side of the plate against Scott Sullivan. Bonilla doubled an RBI in the first, walked intentionally and scored in the 4th, hit a triple, and also scored a run in the 5th. Hitting in 3 innings in a row here. It's a good sign for the offense. Strike 1 called. The way Sullivan throws the ball, you know he has a tailing fastball. Pop up. Branson says I have it. He does. And that will end the top of the 6th inning, but the Mets with a couple of runs in after 5.5. Mets 9, Reds 2. New pitcher on the mound for the New York Mets is Jerry DiPoto. He will replace Dave Malecki, who had a brilliant 5 innings. Brett Boone leads it off. He is 0 for 2. He takes strike 1. the line on Malicki. 5 innings, 2 runs, 3 hits. Breaking ball out of the strike zone, 1-1. He struck out 6 and walked none. That walking none is important. Fly ball, fairly deep right center. No one's going to get to it. It's a high hop over the fence and a ground rule double. We told you the ball carries in this ballpark, and it is certainly doing it today. Didn't look like he hit that ball that good, did he? Went a long ways.
Talked about Brett Boone before. He's about 5'10", 180 pounds, but he has a lot of pop in that bat. Hit 10 home runs last year, and he gets that ground rule double over the center field fence.
Brings up Barry Larkin, who has gotten on an error and grounded out. Larkin now seems ready. Ball fouled back, strike 1. Bet fans, is breaking action is a great time for you to break open an ice cold Budweiser and enjoy that fresh, pure, natural taste. Proud to be your Bud. Dipoto taking a lot of time. Strike called, 0-2. That hit by Boone, the 4th hit of the game for Cincinnati. Larkin behind in the count. They're going in. It is way in, 1-2. The Reds bullpen is active once again. It is caught right, the left-hander. Remember the double switch. Matt Grott, who was relieved by Sullivan, is in the number 6 slot. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Larkin. Mets have a 7-run lead. Fouled off. Good swing by Larkin. That bullpen is 3 wins, 2 losses this year, 2 saves and 4 opportunities. But there have been some breaks in the armor. Earned run average of the bullpen is 4.67. 2-2 on Larkin. Again fouled off. So Larkin battling and protecting the plate. He has a 9-game hitting streak going. He's hit in every game so far this year for the Reds. We said he got on an error and he has grounded out. Came in today's play, 2nd in total bases, 2nd in slugging percentage. Hard ground ball up the middle, a base hit and an RBI. So Larkin keeps the hitting streak going. Now it's at 10. The Reds have another run in. It's 9-3 Mets. Well, that was a good at bat for Larkin.
Born and brought up in the Cincinnati area, a very popular player. highly respected among his peers throughout baseball, Barry Larkin, and a complete player. Hits for average, hits for power, can run, catches the ball very well, and has a strong throwing arm.
Well, Ron Gant, 0 for 2, got a pretty good round of boos as he came to the plate because of those defensive plays. He swings at a breaking ball out of the strike zone, strike one.
He'll be a popular player here in Cincinnati once the team starts winning and he starts really hammering the baseball.
There has to be some concern as that pitch is outside the strike zone about his knee, about his ability. He is not looking physically ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, although he's starting to swing the bat a lot better. We mentioned earlier how he took the place of Kevin Mitchell here in Cincinnati. Yesterday, Kevin Mitchell, I guess the past 3 days, Kevin has made phone calls here to the clubhouse to talk to somebody for an hour from Japan.
He can afford it.
But they said it was like 4 o'clock in the morning over there when he was talking to a guy in the clubhouse here. He was waiting for a game to go on the air from the United States. Kevin's lost 18 pounds. He said he's lost it eating sushi.
High pop-up, shallow right field. Everett says, I have it. He does. One down.
Well, the Reds felt that they could replace Kevin Mitchell with a healthy Ron Gant. They decided to sign Ron Gant last year before he was completely healthy. They were in a bidding war with the Boston Red Sox for Ron Gant.
Well, Ron Gant, as you mentioned earlier, Fran, one of the better offensive players in the game for a long time.
He's never been known for his defense.
Well, he won't be today either.
But how about Kevin Mitchell?
Maybe he's losing that weight. Maybe he's up 24 hours a day. You got to lose some weight then, huh? 4 in the morning?
4.
He was waiting to watch the game? Jeez.
It talked for an hour on the phone to the Reds clubhouse. Also, he's been calling the Giants clubhouse in San Francisco.
Must be lonely. Hal Morris.
I don't see those guys. They say that they work you hard over in Japan. I don't see any of those coaches going up to Kevin and saying, "You do this."
I can't imagine him understanding him anyway. Jammed on the breaking ball. Sliced foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Morris with a home run and an RBI is also flied to center. He's not hitting much right now, a $143. But I'll tell you what, I'd like to have the odds on him being around 300 when the season ends.
And we talked about how active he is in that batter's box. You watch him. Nobody more active moving those feet. Walks into the pitch. Boy, as a catcher, you'd want to know if he can really handle that inside pitch. He starts way off the plate, but his movements take him in closer to the plate. But he's always flirting or over 300, so he can put the ball in play, and he uses the whole field.
Just gets a little piece of that one to stay alive. Young hitters out there watching a guy like Morris. You know he's a good hitter, but you know there's some things you don't want to copy. You don't want to copy bad habits. How he got into that habit, nobody knows.
But it works for him.
It's like Roberto Clemente, one of the great hitters. He moved around with his feet too, and it's just an oddity. It's not something you want to practice. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oh, way down in the dirt. Hundley blocks it.
Got it on the bare hand. That's not good for Todd Hundley. Todd's as strong as anybody behind the plate, but he took that in the bare hand. He's been swinging the bat pretty well. This can have an effect on Todd Hundley. Watch this. He gets down. You try to get the glove in front of it, but he blocked it with the meat hand.
So Hundley given a little extra time by Mike Winter at home to see if his hand is all right. Threw one back, grabs a little dirt, checks the dugout, and says, "Let's go." 2 balls, 2 strikes and an out. Runner leading off at first base. Bottom of the 6th. Mets ahead. Oh, that ball gets by him. He's going to try third. The throw. And I'll tell you what, that's some kind of base running by Barry Larkin. That's how you lead. You lead by example.
Well, he saw Todd Hundley take it in the meat hand. So once he was on the move, ball got by Hundley, he tested the throwing hand of Todd Hundley. And DePoto bounced this ball. I mean, he bounced the fastball off home plate.
He has been very inconsistent with that.
Watch Larkin look. Picks up Hundley back at the backstop, says you're going to have to throw me out at third. Good hustle by Barry Larkin. And if you can hit that meat hand, it's numb right now. I don't care how many tosses you flip out to the pitcher. So when you go back and pick up the ball, the hand is still numb. So good move by Barry Larkin.
Now the bullpen for the Mets getting very active. Ground ball right at the third baseman. Mets are going to give the run up to take the out. Infield was playing back. So a second run in it makes it 9-4. An RBI for Morris. That'll bring up a pinch hitter. Actually, Sullivan is coming to hit. Davey Johnson says, I'm not going to go to my bullpen. Nobody's on. There are 2 outs. I'll leave Sullivan in the game. DePoto trying to be one of the pitchers that does not go back to the minors after this May 15th date. Has been a little bit inconsistent, particularly with that breaking ball. There's a swing and a miss, 1-1. He's had more 56-foot hard breaking balls than most.
Those are tough on a catcher.
Wes Minor and Eric Gunderson. They're the ones that are warming for New York. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Strike 3 called, so DePoto ends that inning on a high note of a strikeout, but giving up 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning after 6. Mets 9, Reds 4. In the 7th inning, Joe Orsulak will lead off for New York. Orsulak has singled in a run and grounded out twice. Mets with a 5-run lead. 2 in the first, 1 in the fourth, 4 in the fifth, and 2 in the sixth. The Reds got 1 each in the second and third, and 2 as we just finished the bottom of the 6th inning. 9-4, Mets over the Reds. Shadows just getting toward home plate at this time. Won't affect much. Jammed a little bit, coming in hard is Deion Sanders, and he makes an easy play. One pitch, 1 out in the 7th, and it'll bring up Eduardo Alfonso. Alfonso's got a couple of hits, a couple of RBIs. He got a real break when the left fielder Ron Gant, who had his glasses on, did not put him down. Lost the ball in the sun, and an inside the park home run. Sullivan gets the low strike. No balls, 1 strike. Sliced hard into the stands. 0-2. So not such a good start for Pete Smith in his first outing of the year for the Reds, but Malicki getting his first start for the Mets. Went 5 innings, struck out 6, gave up only 3 hits. Oh, ball up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Sullivan pushing the youngster off the plate. One young guy to another.
Sullivan looks like he'd be a lot tougher on right-handers than he would be on left-handers, because he comes from the side.
The ball hit hard as a base hit, 3rd hit in the game for Edgardo. The ball was out over the plate. He went right with it. So making a lot of points in that dugout with Dallas Green.
Only 21 years old. Check. Yeah, 21 years old. That's not bad.
Carl Everett has struck out 2 of the 3 times. He did get an RBI on a chop play we told you about that Bobby Bonilla made such a fine move at third base. Good base running play. Ball way out of the strike zone, ball 1. So 0 for 3 with an RBI is Carl Everett. 2 for 19 on this road trip. It's been a rough run. And lots of strikeouts. He has 14 on the season. This is a line drive. Kind of a soft liner in the left field. Ron Gant plays the big hop, tosses it in. And the first hit for Everett in this game. The Mets going the other way quite a bit in this ball game. It brings up Hundley. One down, runners at first and second. Hundley may get a chance to see a good pitch to hit here, even though the pitcher is up next. Tim Bogar is in the on-deck circle. Ball 1. And you see the runners at first and second. Alfonso at second, Everett at first. Sullivan with the delivery. Stopped by Santiago. 2 balls, no strikes. So Hundley really in the driver's seat here. Pick an area of the plate you want the ball. Pick a pitch you want. If it's not that, don't swing at it. Way ahead in the count. And it's down 3-0. I don't see any reason for Dallas Green not to let Hundley swing the bat right now. We will see, though. He's been hot with the long ball particularly. But it's ball 4 in a row. And Sullivan, who was left to hit, Amy Johnson didn't want to overwork that bullpen, now has the bases loaded. There's only 1 out, and Tim Bogar will come up the pinch hit. Bogar on the season, 2 hits and 8 at bats. 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter.
Well, Davey Johnson, we mentioned him before. A lot of sleepless nights here early in '95.
Pitch runs down and in. Bogar goes after it. Strike 1.
Hard shots at the game today.
With Schatzy.
I saw Schatzy in the field. I was talking to the dog.
Ground ball off the leg of the pitcher. Throw to first base. They're going to get it out. Another run comes in and scores for the New York Mets. They take a 10-4 lead. So give an RBI to Bogar. That could have been a double play ball.
Here's again Bogar putting the ball in play. Sully trying to stop that ball from going through. Hits off the glove. So an RBI for Tim Bogar.
2 down now. Butler's to hit at first base is open. Everett at third, Hundley at second. Butler waiting. Way outside, ball 1.
In the Reds clubhouse, talking about Schatzy, there's a picture of Schatzy 1 in that Cincinnati Reds clubhouse. One of the fans sent it to Marge Schott. There's Marge Schott. She might be talking to Schatzy 2 right now.
Maybe calling a AAA club. The way things have been going here today, you never know. Butler takes another pitch for ball 2. So Sullivan, who was just called up from the minor leagues, in trouble in his first outing of this season in the big leagues. 2 balls, no strikes. Strike, and a good one right on the outside corner.
Anyway, there's a picture in the clubhouse of shots he won. A fan sent it in, and Marge Schott sent a note down along with the picture to the players saying that this should motivate them. A picture of shots he won in doggy heaven. She loves her dogs.
That's not a bad trait.
No, it's not.
Butler fouls it off. Will bring the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
She had everybody in a team pet Shotzi too yesterday for good luck. Didn't work.
Well, Deuces are really running wild at this moment. Number 22's at the plate. There's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on. That's a lot of 2s. Santiago has given the sign. Looks like he wants it inside. And Butler right to the third baseman. Branson to Morris will end the inning. But the Mets chalk another one up on the scoreboard in the top of the 7th. After 6.5, Mets 10, Reds 4. Here in Cincinnati, Mets with a 6-run lead, bottom of the 7th inning. Benito Santiago will lead it off for the Reds. Santiago, Branson, and Howard will be the hitters scheduled in the 7th inning. Tim Bogar now playing third base for the Mets. Line drive opposite field. Santiago leads off the 7th with a base hit.
Well, Santiago obviously could be a terrific pickup for the Cincinnati Reds. He was a fine young player with the Padres. Fell into disfavor with management over a contract. I mean, it became acrimonious to the point where he had to leave. Ended up with the Marlins down there in Florida. Struggled somewhat with the Marlins. The Reds took a chance with him. He's got some tools.
He does. I guess the one thing we keep talking about, Francis, is how most pitchers have struggled with his method of catching. You know, he doesn't give a specified target. He moves around a lot behind the plate. There's been the normal comments that he doesn't know how to call a game. And that's followed him now wherever he's been. Breaking ball is popped up to left field. Joe Orsulak. 1 out.
We'll see how Benito Santiago calls a game when Jose Rijo's pitching. Rijo has good stuff.
I understand. It's okay for you to defend him.
I'll tell you right now.
I'm just repeating what's been said by you and everybody else, though.
That's right. His reputation, but that reputation sometimes can be blown out of proportion by outfielders and infielders like yourself.
I'm only repeating what you told me. Thomas Howard. Ball 1. Howard struck out in his first at bat. He was involved in the dreaded double switch earlier in the game. Make it 2-0. Runner at first. Santiago all by himself, playing behind, and rightly so is Rico Brogna. Popped up, might stay in the ballpark. Yep. Bogar's there in foul territory for the 2nd out. Santiago still at first base, and we'll have Neon Deion at the plate. He has a home run. He has flied to center twice.
We talked about how exciting this guy is. He's got a lot of talent, but again, we're talking about potential in baseball as opposed to he's there in football.
Breaking ball down and in, ball 1.
He's done it in football.
Yes, he has.
Still waiting in baseball for him to do it. He's received some nice contracts in baseball because he plays football.
Strike called. Obviously, Sanders not happy. 1 ball, 1 strike. Terrific speed. One of the fastest men in both baseball and football. He drops the bunt. It's foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 5 for 5 in the stolen base category, 2 for Sanders. His biggest problem has been getting to first base this year.
Well, this kind of speed, he should spend a couple weeks with Brett Butler. Learn how to bunt the ball. Imagine what he would do with an infield, the power he has, and his speed and the ability to bunt.
Swing and a miss, down and in. Good pitch. Dipoto gets him to chase. That'll end the 7th inning. After 7, it's 10-4 Mets.
Well, a new pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, John Courtwright.
It's his first appearance last year in Indianapolis. He was 9-10. He was a starter. Also pitched a little bit in Chattanooga.
So John Courtwright will face the New York Mets as we go to the top of the 8th inning here. Jerome Walton in center field for the Reds. So it must be another double switch. Jose Vizcaino leading off for the Mets. Grounded out twice and struck out. Courtwright bounces the curveball, 1-1.
Both Courtwright and Sullivan, who now pitched in this game, both came up, got here today. Today's first day they're in uniform.
And they're watching their Reds lose this one 10-4 to the Mets in the top of the 8th. Ground ball base hit. So Vizcaino picks up his first hit of the game. And the batter now, Rico Brogna. Got a couple hits in today's game. Some RBIs. In fact, he has 3 RBIs. He has a home run and a single. He's 2 for 3. And it's 0-1 on the Met first baseman. A sweet swinging kid from Watertown, Connecticut. He takes up high, 1-1. Courtwright getting the signs from Benito Santiago. Curveball hit off the end of the bat. And Walton comes in unable to make the play. So Brogna has his 3rd hit of the ball game. Jerome Walton unable to glove that ball. Was backed up by Howard.
He was playing extremely deep and could not have gotten a very good jump on that ball. There was a lot of hang time on that ball.
Well, there's a kid right there. Got off to a terrific start with the Chicago Cubs. And he get into a contract squabble. The Cubs and Walton having a falling out. That's been tough for him. He was sent back to the minor leagues.
Looked like he was going to be a mainstay. Just the opposite happened.
And a ball bunted to third base. They go to first with a sure out. 1 down, and the runners advance. So the batter now will be Joe Orsulak. Dipoto getting the job done.
So the Mets with a drawn-in infield. Orsulak will have a chance again with that drawn-in infield.
He's got a single and an RBI. He's 1 for 4 this afternoon. Makes a fastball for a strike. 0-1 on Joe Orsulak. He'll be followed by Edgardo Alfonzo. Alfonzo with 3 hits in today's game. An inside the park home run, courtesy of Ron Gant. Fouled off.
Orsulak looked like he wanted to pound the ball.
Orsulak singled into left field in the first inning, driving in Bobby Bonilla, who had doubled. That scored 2 in the first. 1 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th, and 2 in the 6th. 10-4, the Mets on top of the Reds. Nice play by Benito Santiago. He's very good at getting out there and getting in front of the ball.
But again, the claim was when he wanted to.
Oh, absolutely. Well, he's going to have to now because he lost, as he found out, a lot of his value. Wasn't a whole lot of interest in a guy who was Rookie of the Year just a few years ago, and a catcher at that. 1-2 pitch. Oh, foul. Joe Warslack can take some swings and hit some baseballs that look unhittable.
I love the guy, but he takes some of the craziest swings. We've seen him swing and fall down. We've also seen him have some terrific at-bats.
Well, he's a terrific fourth outfielder. He can go out there and play every day for you also. 1-2 pitch. Pulls the ball to the right side. Boone thought about home. Goes to first. Mets score another run. Good base running. Vizcaíno off at the crack of the bat. Even though the infield was drawn in, he scored.
You can be aggressive when you have a lead for sure, but it shows you that if you're really aggressive with one out, how often you can score. That ball's right at the second baseman, and he realizes it's going to be a really difficult play at the plate. I've got to get it out, and he takes it. And an RBI and a run scored.
Boone talking to Hal Morris about that play. It's 11-4 in favor of the Mets. Edgardo Alfonso steps to the plate, takes down and in, ball one. Alfonso, as I mentioned, with an inside the park home run, 2 singles, scored 2 runs, drove in 2 runs. The inside the park home run coming in the 5th inning was a fly ball into the Sun field, left field. Ron Gant misplayed the ball, didn't put his glasses down, and Alfonso went all the way around to score an inside the park home run. He takes outside 2-0. 21 years old. Played in Binghamton, New York last year. Played well for the Binghamton Ball Club. And the 2-0 pitch. Pulls the ball too short. Larkin to first in time. That'll do it for the Mets here in the 8th. But they pick up another run. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Score, Mets 11, Reds 4. Well, that's the score here at Riverfront Stadium, 11-4. Mets on top of the Reds. Don't forget that Dynamets Dash at Shea Stadium coming up.
Also, the merry month of May, half price on all concessions.
Absolutely. Brett Boone steps in. DePoto's first pitch is a strike. 0-1 on Brett Boone. As you can see, he's 1 for 3 this afternoon. He's a good player. Signed with those Seattle Mariners, was traded to the Reds. I was surprised at that deal. 1-1 on Boone. Those Mariners are playing good baseball here in '95.
Certainly have one of the great players in the game at this time. Junior. Ken Griffey Jr.
1-1 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Base hit. So Brett Boone picks up his second hit of the game. Speaking of Junior, Ken Griffey Jr. said that if he ever played out his option, which really and truly would be a shame that kid leaves Seattle, he's so popular out there, but if he ever plays out his option, a place he would think most about coming, right here in Cincinnati. He grew up here.
Yep. It's kind of like his contract is the same length of time as there is with the city of Seattle for the franchise, from what I gather.
Yeah, he should not. He should be in Seattle his whole career. That kid can play. He's very popular. He's good for baseball out there in the Northwest. Barry Larkin, who grew up right here in Cincinnati, takes down low, 1-0. Larkin in his ball game reached on an error, grounded out, singled his last time up, drove in a run, scored a run, stole a base. And the 1-0 pitch. Swung out and missed. 1-1.
We have to get those Nintendo people who own part of the club to come up with a little of that dinero to make sure that that young man stays in town.
Wouldn't be good for baseball if Ken Griffey. I mean, it'd be great to have him in a city like New York, but it wouldn't be good for baseball to have a kid like Ken Griffey, who's I'm sure everybody's idol out there in the Northwest, leave that town, leave Seattle, Washington, and go someplace else. Foul out of play. 1-2.
That defense, you always want to turn a double play, but with a 7-run lead, the most important thing the infielder should have in their mind is to make sure of one. If we get 2, fine, but get an out every time you can. You've got a lot of room to work with.
1-2 on Barry Larkin. Takes the breaking ball down and off the plate. 2-2.
He had a tremendous at bat last time, fouled off 2 or 3 really tough pitches, and then got a base hit and RBI.
His family heavily involved in sports in the Cincinnati area. A couple brothers, fine athletes. Down low. 3-2 and Barry Larkin. Cincinnati Reds, one of the oldest franchises in all of baseball. Tremendous history as far as baseball is concerned here in the Cincinnati area.
It used to be that they always opened up the Major League season in Cincinnati. That's a thing of the past now.
Inside to Larkin. Ball 4. So the Reds have runners at first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. Speaking of history here in Cincinnati, about 2 shots down here up on this press level is the youngest player ever to play in the major leagues. He does radio for the Cincinnati Reds, Joe Nuxall.
He was a good pitcher for a long time. He went back to the minor leagues for a while after starting at that young age of 15.
Marty Berneman, his partner there on the left, or on the right, I should say, and Joe Nuxall.
I faced Joe Nuxall. In fact, he's one of the few guys that hit me in the head. He got me with a slider.
Did he?
Yeah, up and in, a back-up slider. He got me. I was protecting the plate. Forgot to move my head.
Well, the Reds have runners on first and second with nobody out here in the 8th inning. And the batter, Ron Gant, takes a breaking ball, hanging breaking ball for a strike. He needs to do something right now to redeem himself with the fans who have stayed for this contest.
This day's been going for him. He could hit into a line drive triple play.
And the 0-1 pitch. Slaps it foul and out of play. Looks to me like Ron Gant's arms are bigger this year than ever before. He's got some of the biggest guns in baseball.
He is a hard worker, but he still has an awful lot of work to do to rebuild that leg.
What a mistake that was. A motorbike accident. And the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, hanging breaking ball, driving that ball, gone. Oh, did that ball get out of here? Wow.
Here comes Dallas. It's never been easy for the Mets this year. I don't know why it would change.
Oh, boy.
And the cardinal sin, even though it was done on the Mets, here it is. The hanging hook. Boy, way up in the strike zone, and he put it way up in the seats. No doubt about it. His 4th home run, and it draws the Reds within 4. Still bottom of the 8th, but nobody out yet. Eric Gunderson will come into the ball game. Eric Gunderson. And you see the line score. And Ron Gant a little bit of a moral victory with the fans. Big long home run. He's had a rough day in the outfield. There's Eric Gunnarsson. It's his 5th game. An 0-0 record in 3 1/3 innings. Only 1 hit given up, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Dallas Green has used him a lot in the past just to get that left-hander out. This year, he probably have to advance a little bit past that.
So Gunderson will pitch to Hal Morris. He's completed his warm-up tosses. We have an 11-7 ball game. Bottom of the 8th inning. Ryan Gant just hit a rocket over the left field fence. So Hal Morris will step in with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. He'll be followed by Jerome Walton and then Benito Santiago. Gunderson's first pitch misses down low, ball 1. Well, we were talking about it before. You want to get these Reds while they're struggling and then get out of town. See what Morris did against left-handed pitchers in 1994. Down low, 2-0.
Well, it's so frustrating to be a manager and pitching coach and be on the bench and have a big lead, give up a bunch of runs here, bring a guy in. I'd like to see him throw strikes.
2-0 pitch on the corner.
He might have got a break right there. The Mets got a break.
Back to Gunderson. Goes to Bronya. 1 down.
I'm going to show you this home run. I don't want to tell you crushed this, but boom. It did not take long to get into the second deck in this ballpark.
He's strong. 4th home run of the season. As Rusty said earlier, the ball really travels here in the summertime. What will Ron Gant do then?
He was in a pretty good ballpark for the ball to jump in the first place in Atlanta.
No AstroTurf though.
That's true.
Jerome Walton fouls off the first pitch. 0-1.
It helps certain hitters better than others. Guys that are fly ball type hitters. Obviously, the turf's not going to help him as much.
Down low. 1-1 on Jerome Walton. Walton back at 89 was the rookie of the year at 293 with 23 doubles for the Cubs. Hits that ball hard in the left field. So Jerome Walton picking up a base hit. Boy, he was, getting back to his tenure with the Cubs, he was a favorite. He and Dwight Smith came up together, and as quickly as they captured the hearts of the Cubs fans, they were gone. He has that wide stance, takes a short stride, as you can see in the replay.
That was a bullet. Bogar gave it a good effort, but tell you what, if he'd have caught that, it might have drug him out in the left field.
Now, Benito Santiago is the batter. Santiago in this ball game 2 for 3. Takes down low, ball 1. Santiago is also rookie of the year when he's with the San Diego Padres. Hits the ball hard in the center field. So Santiago picking up his 3rd hit of the game.
Well, and you're nervous on that Met bench right now. You have this long lead. Dallas Green doesn't want to bring in his top closers, trying to give him a little bit of time off. The bullpen is coming back to haunt him a little bit right now. Mark Lewis will be the pinch hitter.
Mark Lewis will face Gunderson with runners on first and second. One man down. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Reds have scored 3 times in this inning. They trail the Mets 11-7. There have been 14 hits in this game for the Mets and 10 for the Reds. Now Hundley going out to talk to the southpaw.
Just a little time being taken now to try to give the bullpen a chance to get ready. Both bullpens are active. For the Mets, it looks like Henry down there. So Doug Henry warming for the Mets. And Xavier Hernandez warming for the Reds.
And Gunderson will pitch to Mark Lewis, who last year played the opening day game in Jacobs Field for the Cleveland Indians. He was their starting third baseman. He will now alternate at third base for the Reds. He drives the ball in the gap right center field. The Reds should pick up 2 more runs. No, they're going to hold him at third. They pick up 1 run. And they hold Santiago at third. It's now 11-8 with runners in scoring position and only 1 out.
And just like that, the tying run is at the plate. Mets have to play it that way. The infield will play back. They'll concede a run if they can get the out. Dallas Green has seen enough.
So that'll be all for Gunderson. We'll go to the bullpen.
Doug Henry is one of the guys that Dallas Green will really rely on this year, trying to get to John Franco.
Keep in mind, the Reds have been extremely frustrated. 1-8 start. Last night after the game, Barry Larkin had a conversation with the rest of the team. Jose Rijo looking on. And Barry was very vocal about the way the Reds were playing ball. Well, Barry Larkin is watching his Reds fight back today. It's 11-8 Mets. All up to Doug Henry to get him to John Franco. This is a big hitter right here. Thomas Howard, runners in scoring position. Howard batting 182. Fastball outside, ball 1. Lenny Harris on deck. That's playing deep for Howard and to pull. He hits a fly ball. Will it drop? Here comes Butler. It drops in. Base hit. Santiago will score. It's now 11-9. Lewis going to third, so the Reds have runners on the corners. Still only 1 out.
The outfield was playing deep there because they did not want someone to get a cheap double. The ball had a little bit of hang time. Butler could not get in there to get it.
So runners on the corners. Howard on first. Lewis on third. The batter, pinch hitter, Lenny Harris. Harris batting .250. Takes up high, ball 1. Harris will be followed by Brett Boone. Foul off the left side and out of play. Davey Johnson flashing signs to the assistant manager, Ray Knight. Lewis on third, Howard on first. And a 1-1 pitch. Good breaking ball. That's a strike. 1-2.
There's a look at it.
One-two pitch. Up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Start of this inning, the score was 11-4. It's now 11-9. If you just tuned in the Sports Channel, stay with us. Good ball game. High scoring game. A lot of hits. Check Howard at first base and dives back, no throw. There goes Howard. Harris puts the ball in play. Butler camped under it. Lewis tagging at third. He will score. We now have an 11-10 ball game. 6 runs in this inning for the Reds.
Well, it was Brett Boone that started it all off, trying to get his second hit of the inning.
Told you earlier, a lot of the coaches with the Reds feel he will be the best hitter on this team before he's done. He has 2 hits in today's game, as you can see by the graphic. And check Howard at first base. Do you send him? Got to get him into scoring position. It's late in the ball game. On deck, Barry Larkin. Breaking ball, called strike.
Well, a laugher has turned into a very serious game right now for the Mets. My word, it went from being a picture-perfect day to a horror movie. They still have a lead.
Very concerned with Howard at first base, and justifiably so. You don't want him getting into scoring position. He represents the tying run. The 0-1 pitch, woo, way inside.
It is up and in. Almost gets him on the hands.
Boone betting $3.59 right now. Good breaking ball on the corner. 1-2.
And a good spot after the previous pitch.
Ray Knight flashing signs to Thomas Howard. He's held his ground throughout Boone's at bat.
They got to be aggressive on the bases here, I think.
We'll take a look, see if he's taking a little bit bigger lead right now. We check him at first. Once you get that front leg on the AstroTurf, that means you might have larceny in your heart. He's too jumpy at first base to steal, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
1-2 pitch, pitch out. Howard holds his ground. Davey Johnson relaying signs to Ray Knight.
Youngblood has said something at first base. Howard was listening.
He said, "Don't get picked off."
So you get picked off, you and I are going to grapple right here.
Pressure on Todd Hundley. Howard holds his ground. Boone, it's a high fly ball to right center field. Everett calling for it. Makes the grab for out number 3. But the Reds have come back here in the bottom of the 8th. They picked up 6 runs. We go to the top of the 9th, and the Mets have a 1-run lead. Well, Lewis stays in at third base. And Xavier Hernandez on in relief. Xavier Hernandez, member of the Yankees ball club last year. Pitching to Carl Everett here in the 9th inning. Everett takes up high, ball 1. 11-10, the Mets on top of the Reds. It's been a wild ball game at Riverfront Stadium. Everett 1 for 4 in this game. He hits a high fly ball to deep center field. Walton calling for it and grabs it in front of the warning track. 1 down.
He's got the sun down. He's shielding with the glove. But he's right there. Blocks it again. He's got it.
And Todd Hundley will step to the plate with 1 man gone here in the top of the 9th inning. Hundley has a double in this ball game. Walked twice. Rounded out.
Dallas Green is going to stay with Doug Henry.
Hundley takes a strike.
Franco, who is the major closer for the Mets, not warming now. Doesn't probably want to use him day game after a night game.
Oh, good pitch from Hernandez. 0-2. Francis Xavier Hernandez. Yankees picked him up when he was with Houston.
This is going to be a good off-speed pitch. Hundley really fooled.
Hernandez was 4-4 with the Yankees last year. Spent his formative years with the Houston Astros. A lot of people were predicting big things for him last year in New York with the Yanks. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Hundley. Good pitch, swung and a miss, strike 3. So Todd Hundley goes down, 2 down here in the 9th.
Another good off-speed pitch, and Hundley was out front. Back-to-back changeups here.
So 2 minutes gone here in the top of the 9th inning. The batter now will be Tim Bogar. Bogar fouls the ball off. 0-1. Hernandez's best year was 92 with the Houston Astros. He was 9-1 with a 2.11 ERA. 93, he was 4-5 with Houston. Tim Bogar facing Xavier Hernandez here in the 9th inning. Takes the fastball down low, 1-1.
There's no telling what's going to happen in this game. Stay with us now. Bottom of the 9th coming up.
A lot of double switches in this game.
Yes, they were. That's why Bogar's in there for Bonilla.
He pops the ball up again behind home plate. Santiago has a beat on it, makes the grab for out number 3. So the Mets go quietly here in the top of the 9th inning. But as you go to the bottom of the 9th at Riverfront, the Mets have a 1-run lead, so stay right there. Barry Larkin leads it off for the Reds. Bottom of the 9th inning. Larkin in this ball game, 1 hit, stolen base, scored a run, drove in a run. Takes down low, ball 1 from Doug Henry.
And it is obvious, Francis, that the game is Henry's. Nobody warming for the Mets at all.
11-10, the Mets on top of the Reds. Larkin hits the ball hard down the left field line, but foul.
Got a few lumps and a few throats. You see it hooking down the left field line, hitting off the side wall in foul territory. This is 3 tough batters back to back: Larkin, Gant, and Morris.
Larkin played his collegiate ball at the University of Michigan. In fact, it was the first baseball player ever to be named the MVP in the Big Ten. And he twice earned All-American honors. So twice he was named MVP in the Big Ten. And he takes inside. As I mentioned earlier, Barry Larkin, born and brought up in the Cincinnati area. 2 of his brothers also played sports, big names, very successful in this area. He wants to do something for the home folks right now. He just took a strike. Nice pitch from Doug Henry. 2-2.
Mike Remlinger is the guy warming in the bullpen now for New York. Here's the pitch. Just getting the outside corner.
So it's 2-2 on Barry Larkin, the team leader on the Cincinnati ball club. He'll be followed by Ron Gant, who hit a rocket out of this ballpark his last time up. Larkin staying alive. Good pitch from Henry. So we'll do it again at 2-2.
There's Remlinger. Well, a laugh, a turn into a nail biter. Just that quick.
2-2 pitch. Fastball misses inside, so we're full. 3-2. Mets have to keep the leadoff man off the base path. And Larkin has to get on. The Reds need a runner to tie. There's a base hit in the right center field. Butler cutting it off, getting the ball back in, and the tying run is on first base.
Well, boy, he has been impressive in these last few at-bats. He has really battled. Let's take a look at the last inning. And Ron Gant. That is a 2 hanging hook. One of the cardinal sins of pitching. And I'll tell you what, Ron Gant made him pay in a hurry. That was off of Jerry DiPoto.
It has not been a terrific afternoon. Ron Gant has had some trouble defensively. He redeemed himself with that 3-run home run. We'll see what he does here. Whoa, he just took a fastball for a ball. Gant will be followed by Hal Morris. No 1-0 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed.
Larkin faked the move to second base that time.
He has real good speed.
2 steals and 3 attempts so far in 95.
Larkin is one of those players that the scouts say can do it all.
And he showed what leadership is about, again by example. Getting that hit in the 9th.
1-1 pitch missed outside. It's 2-1. you see a home run hit that hard the last time up, start to miss outside of with a guy like Gant. But then you have to face Hal Morris. Oh, good pitch. 2-2 breaking ball, just catching the outside corner.
Well, he's been there before. He was the closer for about 3 seasons in Milwaukee. One year he had 29 saves, Doug Henry. It was all before he hurt that arm.
2-2 pitch, and that was a bad swing, but he stays alive.
Well, that's exactly what that was. He was not expecting that heater. He just got the bat on the ball. He's shaking his head going, boy, am I lucky. Watch out for back in his. Up. I just got a piece of it. He was looking breaking ball. You got to be pretty talented to make contact.
That ball was by him. 2-2. Nobody out. 9th inning. Reds trailing the Mets by 1. Breaking ball misses outside. Todd Hundley trying to steal that pitch, but you couldn't trick Mike Winters.
And here's a big play for Davy Johnson. Does he send Larkin? You got a strikeout guy up at the plate.
I'd send him.
I'd send him too.
He's going 3-2 pitch, swung on, pulled to third base. Bogart to first in time. And Larkin hung on at second base. I'm sure it went through his mind, I might be able to make it. But he's in scoring position for Hal Morris, who will probably be walked.
They'll be putting the go-ahead run on at first.
Now they're going to come out. Pavlik going to come out to talk to Henry.
Jerome Walton is the guy in the on-deck circle.
Might go after Walton rather than Morris. Morris last year the most valuable player, Reds' most valuable player, voted by the Cincinnati chapter of the Baseball Writers Association. Hit over 300. Had a terrific season last year.
335 to be exact.
He had 10 home runs. Can put the ball in play. He's coming to the plate. You got the guy on deck who's not an everyday player. Looks like the Mets are going to go after Morris, or are they? Yep. This could be one of those things, Rusty, where you say don't give him anything to hit.
Well, you're in a situation now where to say the game's on the line's an understatement.
You can't be messing around with don't give him anything to hit. That's tough.
That's when you see those pass balls and balls in the dirt. Just got to be aggressive and go with your best stuff.
Morris was picked up from the Yankees back in 1989. He's been doing the job here in Cincinnati. He takes a strike.
I don't think the Met outfield can get any deeper.
His .335 batting average finished him 4th last year in the National League. You saw the defense. He hits the ball off the end of the bat. Here comes Orsulak, and he can't handle the ball. This ball game is tied up. Nice try by Orsulak, but the ball was jolted away from him when he hit the ground, and Morris ties the game up.
The game would have been over had Orsulak caught that. Larkin had considered it a base hit all the way. You see him, he's right there. If he can hold on, Mets win.
Oh boy.
It's right there. It hits off the edge of his hand. It hits his chest and comes out. If he catches it, the Mets get a double play and win the game.
So Morris is on first base. This ball game is tied at 11, and Jerome Walton is the batter. This is unbelievable.
Talked about how deep the Mets were playing. Now you have to play deep. There's a runner at first.
And that ball was hit off the end of the bat by Hal Morris. Walton takes down low. So it's 1-1 on Jerome Walton. He's looking down at Ray Knight, so is Todd Hundley. Ray Knight flashing signs to Hal Morris. Morris not known for his speed. He's 6'4", about 220. But they check him at first. Incredible comeback by the Reds, really. Scored 6 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning and 1 run here to tie it up. Walton takes a strike. 1-2. Look at that line score right there. They're even in runs and hits. But that's 6 runs in the bottom of the 8th, 1 here in the bottom of the 9th to tie it up. Up high with the breaking ball. 2-2. These same two teams go at it again tomorrow. Once again, Ray Knight flashing the signs. Doug Henry looking on. He's set. 2-2 pitch to Walton. Breaking ball. There's a drive to left field. Orsulak in pursuit. Home run! What a ball game. Jerome Walton hits a game-winning home run. Unbelievable game played by the Cincinnati Reds.
Well, they had the big meeting yesterday. They yelled and screamed at each other. They fell way behind today. What a comeback.
Final score, Reds 13, Mets 11.
It was perhaps a bit too early to call this a must-win, but with just a single victory and 9 tries coming into this early spring affair, the Reds certainly will take it. In fact, you can look back at this early 1995 May affair as the Reds' season's turning point, as this thrilling comeback win was their first of 6 in a row and 19 of 22 overall. The Reds virtually never looked back from there, en route to their National League Central Division title. I'm Victor Rojas. Thanks for watching this latest edition of MLB Network Presents All-Time Games. We'll see you next time.